There's something else now onto the budget. As you know, we have to pass a preliminary budget today. That budget will then be processed by Gail and given out to anybody that wants to take a look at it, basically, out to the public. And we will also schedule a public hearing for the budget tonight before we leave, so we have that. And I think that has to be, it's no later than November 9th, right?
That's correct.
So anyway, to start off, this morning, we received some adjustments to our town assessment from the county this morning. They were nice enough to send this through. So, in a couple of our areas, the assessments did drop. Basically, in town, well, a couple of the districts, but basically it affected the general whole town and the police fund. Okay, the amounts that needed to be made up were about 6,900 in whole town, Danny?
6950 in whole town.
And 12.
12.5, just under 12.5 in police. 12,500.
So basically, just as we go through this, keep that in mind. You got 69, what is it? 69?
6950.
And 12?
12.5.
Okay. I went through and I've got proposed adjustments to take care of that so that the tax rate would stay the same as what it was in my tentative budget. However, we'll incorporate all these so that Danny doesn't get confused if there are any other adjustments to the budget. So I just want to let you know up front what that is.
That's all of Whole Town and PD are the only ones affected?
Well, we've got the, some of the fire, 2 of the fire districts were affected. I think the sewer district was affected.
Okay.
And some of the lady districts were affected. The only thing with those districts, as you know, Dave, there's nothing to balance it out. So we got to raise the taxes. There's no other way to do it. So it's not like the other part of the budget where we could take something out of an expenditure, keep the rate the same. Especially on the fire district budget, there's nothing you can do. Okay, who wants to start? Rick?
I think the first thing I would look at is freezing the wages for the non-union people at the 2017 level.
Is somebody writing all this down?
I can write it down.
Okay.
Now that affected, so there were 3% raises for non-union, is that what I understand?
Yep. Did you total that up? I didn't know. So you have no idea what that's going to mean? Okay. All right.
It was 58,000, it was 300 and change. It's a total.
58,000?
What was that from?
The 3% raise, if I calculate it right off the budget from every person, it looked like it was 58,000 or something. 58,003 and change.
That sounds high. I thought it was more like 30 or 40. I don't know without, actually calculating it.
Number 2?
You can forward on this, no.
Ah.
Oh, what kind of numbers?
No, I mean, do you have something else besides it?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'll go on page 1, town justice courts. I met with the judges. They like to do the pay the bills online or pay the fines online and stuff. They can implement that as like a $1,500 cost. They also questioned court clerk part-time. They sent me records. They showed that the caseload has been gone up in the last few years, and last year was the most, and they've asked for that, so I don't know.
What is it?
Is that going to be used for them, or is that going to be used when they start having a municipal court out at the county?
That I did not ask them.
Well, that's, I think you need to ask that
Okay.
because the judges, as you may know, under this new program, they get paid $250 to go out there. And when this was brought up about secretaries, they were told you bring your own secretary. So, are we paying for a secretary to go out there for them, which they're getting paid
I'll
for?
ask.
Or is this truly something, because the court's been working well with what we've got for a long time, okay? And it just seems odd that this pops up at a time when we want to have the central,
Isn't that central just for arraignments,
yes,
after hours?
yes, but they're still bringing secretaries with them,
Yeah.
or clerks with them. Because somebody's got to record it, because
No,
they're
I
not going to
understand.
supply a clerk.
Paul, what line item in your, the first item you mentioned?
So software for 1,500, I put a line item in of software like other departments, but I don't know if you want to put it under equipment.
And how much?
Just 1,500, and that's to
So
get
you're
there.
looking, you're wanting to add 1,500 to the 1,800.
Yeah, if that's the correct place, we should put the software. There's really not equipment, it's software, so I don't know if you want to just make a line item for that.
We usually put it under equipment, because
Okay. Okay.
we only get three categories. It's either personnel, equipment, or contractual, so. Take your pick, either contractual or equipment.
Okay. All right, so that'll be in there then, for equipment then? The 1,500?
Well, if the board approves.
Right, right, no, I
that's
know,
what
but
it
that's
is.
where you put, okay.
Yeah, 11, what is that, 1110.2, Dan?
Yes.
All right, and then they had a question in regards to the grant that they got last year for equipment actually carries over. They got like 10,570, they said, left in there.
Yeah, I talked to Judge Vertler on that.
Okay.
In order to do that, we'd have to appropriate the fund balance, I believe, put it in the line item, add 10,870, whatever that number is, to the contractual expenditure line item, and then use fund balance, because that's kind of where it is, because we received the revenue already
Right.
in 2017. So that's how that would work.
Okay, so should we add an line item here in the town justice, so we can see it?
I mean, we would just increase the contractual from 10,000 to 20,870
Okay.
And it would show up as a revenue on the,
as a use of fund balance.
okay.
Because, again, we received the revenue, so
Okay.
in 17, so that's where it would come from.
I'm sorry. Where were you going with that, John, Danny?
1110.4.
The contractual under town justice, in order to do that, unless you have another way, I know we talked about this a little bit. Adding 10,870 to the contractual.
So it'd be 20,870?
Right. And then, it would be a revenue under fund balance.
Is that, what was that grant for?
It was just, I don't think it was specific other than just, court updates and equipment.
Well, they must have put something in.
Yeah, I don't know
So it's
specific.
probably restricted anyway, so we have to restrict the fund balance anyway.
Right.
All right.
So I was gonna make a suggestion as we
Sure.
go through, instead of flipping back and forth, just go through, if we go around
Yeah,
this
let's
page.
do that, right,
Yeah.
perfect.
That's good, okay.
Anything else?
On this page, no, that's it, just the courts.
Do you have anything on this page?
That's it? Nothing else?
Nothing else on courts on this page.
Well, no, let's
Yeah.
go through the whole thing. Whatever you got, let's go through it now.
Okay.
I thought we were each going each page, so we're not going back.
Anybody
Oh,
else
we're
have
not gonna go
anything
through
on
each page, guys. We'll be here till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
No, but like instead of us trying to find each, we gotta go back, everybody's
All right,
got.
well, the next page, I got something too, so just quick.
Well, I mean, do you guys have that many? All right, why don't you just go and tell us what you got? Danny and I could keep it.
Okay, all right, town assessor, equipment.
Yep.
You got 500, I'd like to put 1,500 in there, I'd like to get her an iPad when she goes out to site to take pictures and she can upload them and everything right from the
So
site.
that's an
Additional
total of
1,500 total.
total.
And then she can also use it to send Joe pictures for the building permits and everything.
It's in DB.
No, it's AA 135502.
Assessors.
Sorry.
What else?
Down here for town attorney, you got contractual, it was 20, 50, now it's down to 10,000.
Most of our certiorieries, most of the big certiorieries were done.
Okay,
I don't know,
what about Sangertown coming back?
Sangertown's done. They're there for 3 years, isn't
Okay.
Well, we spent 43,597 to date for this year, but that is because of.
it? Well, we had a lot of big ones. We had Sangertown, we had Home Depot, we had Utica National, Consumer Square, the Anandasas, we had a bunch of them that all hit us all in one year. UPS. I don't know how many other big companies there are. You know, once they're special metals, once they're assessed, then it's a 3-year period that they're
Do you see us needing any special counsel for anything, or?
Yeah, we could. There's a couple that I think you're gonna hit. Oh, no, there are a couple more that just got filed. Who was that? Let me see if I can't tell you off the top of my head. I just saw, Gail, you remember which ones you just got?
That's right.
Okay.
That's all.
Come on now, Dave.
Well, let's go.
All right, so next one, all right,
Anything on
engineer.
page 3?
Engineer for equipment. So we talked about keeping track of all our retention ponds, going out there with the GPS, finding them, tracking them, documenting them all. I met with Chris Lawton. We went through some different packages and things, for asset management software. He came up with a suite package for the software. He said to do the whole thing, what we want to do would be about $10,000 to do that. And that will track all our retention ponds, all our sewers, all our assets in the whole town, our stop signs, everything. Everything that we have, we can document them all. And by using the GPS system, which actually Rick's purchased this year, so that would come in handy with that.
Okay.
All right, that's all I have for that, and then I do have one thing, the police trailer. That was out there, we had the mold issue, got flooded, we gotta rebuild it. The mold job, I think, was around 2025, it's probably gonna be about the same to repair it. So there's about 50 grand to repair that.
Where are you?
Well, I just put it as a note, but it'd be in police. But I added as a note here.
What are you doing?
Well, the police locker rooms, they
Yes.
got destroyed, we're renting the trailer right now, we were gonna
Right.
try to fix that. So,
Fix the building, yeah.
fix the building, so you're looking at like $25,000 in mold repair in that ballpark that we got the things for.
Right.
And then there's probably another 25 grand to fix what they're gonna take out. So there's 50 grand there we need to come up with to get them back in the locker room, or they stay in the trailer that we're renting every month.
And do we have the rental for the trailer in there?
Well, that's probably in the police contractuals.
That I would suggest that we save that for capital projects, and because we're gonna have other bonding that comes up, we just throw it in there as part of the bonding. I mean, it's an object that's gonna have a useful life, hopefully, longer than the last repair we did to it.
Okay.
But,
And if we do that, just to add one thing, we should get flood insurance on that building.
I think it's out of the floodplain, but I didn't.
whatever, yeah, I don't think we can. You could talk to the insurance when they come, but just
Okay.
about everything that they have looked at, just about everything, they're pretty thorough, but check with them on it.
Okay.
If you want.
Okay, then here, under central printing and mailing, it says that there's maintenance agreements of $78,000. I was wondering what that was for.
That's all the maintenance agreements, we've got copiers, I believe that includes the computers, copiers, anything
Is
we have
that
a
where-
maintenance contract on.
Police computers, cars,
Okay. And is that also too for the IT people is in there too, or no, that's separate?
That's, Holsey's not under there, is he?
In maintenance agreements?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh, he is?
Some of it.
You got that in there? Okay.
Where does his fee come with the 29,000? his monthly fee, is that in there too?
Yeah, it's in between the maintenance agreements, and then down below, there's a central data maintenance, $10,000 line. Between those two items covers all of, Polchi and copiers and mentioned. And just to know, we usually come in, under or over budget on, it's hard to maintain that. That's why I increased it to 78 from 72. Because I looked at the 5-year history, and we're running very close, if not over on that.
Do you have a breakdown list you can email us?
I could have Lisa do it. She's been kind of tracking it, yeah.
Okay, well, just to see what it is, because it's a large number.
So you want to break down what the 78 is?
Yeah, just to see what's in there,
Okay.
Okay, and then, payments to county for appropriation, it looks like it's tax cut off there. It's AA 1940-4, it was at $9,395, now it's to $3,475.
Yeah, we received, that's the same thing last year, if you remember, the properties
Right.
that are unknown owners. That's what that bill comes from the county. I had a list last year, and Darlene looked into all of the properties. That's what that is, and the one above that, the 19,000,
Yep.
those are past certiorari's that are due to the county that we haven't paid.
Refunds.
Mainly,
Last year was the first year that appeared in the budget. The tax, county tax.
Okay.
I've got one,
Wait
AA
a
19.
minute, Paul, are you done?
Yeah, with that sheet.
Why don't you go through, because you may be saying something that everybody else has got. So why don't you go through yours and then we'll
He's
go
done on
around.
that page.
But he's not done with the budget, okay? Go through the changes you want, and then we'll go around and do it.
Okay.
Well, what if you got the same thing, then we're gonna be covering it
I'm not,
twice.
I just want an explanation.
Of what? Oh, I'm sorry. Go
A,
ahead.
am I up? AA 960.4. Demos. Do we get reimbursed for that?
Yeah, there's a revenue side to that in the budget.
Okay. Total amount gets reimbursed?
yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Recreation center, we got laborers overtime on there. Do we really need it?
Well, we cut it down. I know years ago, it used to be a lot higher. We cut it down because we started having the police department lock up the parks at night, so that cut it way down. But, yeah, especially, in the winter months over at the rec center, with hockey, et cetera, et cetera. They gotta have somebody over there making the ice and stuff.
Okay, and then the park, same thing, the overtime. That there, I don't know. It definitely doesn't look like it's being used. Especially this year, I don't really think there needs to be any overtime at the park.
70, 20,
71, 10, 16, Danny, I think, Paul's talking about parks.
Yeah,
Not the
parks,
rec center.
overtime.
We've used the 6,300 to date. We've used it, the last 5 years, every year, 7,000, 8,000.
I wouldn't put it, that's up to the board.
Well, I guess, as I said, I don't remember, but I know we did go through this with parks some years ago. We did cut it a lot because we had, as I said, the police go out there and lock up the parks. But you gotta remember, during the summertime, we're covering parks with basically 3 or 4 guys now. We're covering 3 parks on weekends, plus the 7 days a week.
Carson,
And-
give us a
Yeah, if you wanna talk to him. but
Well, it
you
looked like
gotta-
overtime went up every year anyway. It didn't go down. It started at 59, now it's 9,000.
Right.
And then last year they got 7,000.
Well, that's what was in the budget. But you gotta remember, our parks are open from 7 in the morning until 8, 9 at night, and they go 7 days a week. So you're going, you know, with 4 guys, you're going to have somebody working overtime, some places. You know, you just can't take care of the parks, 3 parks.
Well, I
You
guess
know,
that's
with
my
4
problem,
guys.
not to be, you know, but they're not being taken care of. I mean, I walked through and took pictures. I mean, the place looks really rough.
Well, I mean, it's up to you if you want to
I
take
mean,
it out,
so-
but I think, you know, you still gotta have somebody out there doing the basics. You know?
And the basics aren't even getting done. I mean, besides mowing the lawn, that's about all that's even happening. That's not even happening on time. Retention ponds aren't getting done. So
We'll mark it down.
it's up to you guys.
Take it out. Take it out.
Okay, what else you got?
All right, zoning and codes enforcement officers.
And I've got a question on
Yep.
page 7. You skipped that, right?
Yeah,
Just, AA 7230.1. We don't have a swim program anymore. What, is that just a splash pad? Okay. Thank you.
all right, talking with Joe Booth, on the software issue down in codes, something again, he would like to implement, and he said it would make things a lot smoother. Because again, going online with a lot of the things that he does, building permits, things like that. You know, we looked at it a couple of years ago. It was around $7,200. He said that would definitely help out now because actually one of the guys isn't even coming back, I guess, down there in codes. And yeah, Tom Rollins. And you know, that's one thing that can help down there and make things a little more efficient. And they can also pay online, and you can take, you know, credit card transactions right there at the codes department. And people can submit preliminary plans and things also online with the software package that you looked at. And that was, it was $7,200, and that would be the full software suite.
Where are they?
I'm on
Zoning.
yeah, BB 8010-2,
Okay. And adding what?
$7,200 to general whole town judgments and claims. It says BP 1930-14, 17,639. It's a new thing that was put in there this year. Is what it is.
It's part of the
Refunds on this, plus situation.
Oh, okay, so you broke it up. Okay.
There's nothing we could do, we break it up between where the tax monies came from.
Okay. So general, so the big one that I got, I guess, is Rick's department. And I guess Jim can chime in too, to talk about the curbside trash pickup. So we added the curbside trash pickup in here for the tipping fees, the 30,000. We also increased seasonal employees to 45,000. Wanted to make those part-time workers from May 1st to October 31st. They will also be doing leaf pickup, brush pickup. Try to take the heavies off the streets with the backloaders and put leaf trucks out there with those guys picking that up, and also doing curbside trash pickup. Wanted to lower overtime from 120 to 105, doing that. And then we were looking at, we came up with a list, kind of had a plan for the summer. If we got the leaf truck and we got the excavator, we could do some of the jobs now this summer, have all the heavy guys working.
Okay.
Yep.
You're jumping ahead of me.
Right.
Okay, 30,000 curbside, so we're gonna put that into DB 5110
Cash fit.
-50.
Yep.
Okay.
And you increased seasonal employees by 20, right?
Right,
You increased it? Okay, so it's gonna be 45,000 now.
right, and we lowered overtime by 15,000.
All right, so you, I'm sorry, so the seasonal employees are going to 50,000?
45.
45,000. And you're dropping the overtime?
To 105. You 51, 4211.
And you're dropping that down 15,000?
Yep.
Okay.
And then, this is a little discussion right here. So purchase new machinery and capital lease payment. So we have an $85,000 lease payment that's already included in here. We had purchased new machinery at $64,467. Me and Rick talked about a program using the seasonal help, again, doing leaf pickup a little bit different, making it a little more efficient, getting the higher paid employees off the streets, getting our backloaders with, expensive tires off the streets, just putting a leaf truck on for leaf day, putting a compactor on for the day to pick up brush. And again, putting a lower paid employee out for those tasks while the, a higher paid employee in an excavator could be out doing the work that now Bray is doing for us. Digging ditches and putting in storm drains and completing infrastructure work. So we came up with a little plan. He has a plow truck that's already on there that was approved for $173,000 on there. He also had a F550 truck that was on there. And
When you say on there,
well, he had it on the list to purchase equipment this year that was, I guess, approved
for 2017,
Under capital?
under capital?
Yeah. Right, Rick?
No, that's what Pat put in 2018 budget for equipment, was that
Okay.
one truck and one box.
So it's not on there. That would have to go to 2018.
18.
Right.
So instead of him getting that box truck, we were looking at compactors, leaf truck, and the excavator.
Okay, and again, normally what we do is we leave all that stuff for bonding, for
Right.
capital, because that's basically what you're dealing with.
Right.
is big items here. And I don't think you're going to take those sides out of your current operating.
Okay, how about if we put the, right here and purchase new equipment? Could we put in there the excavator for there, and then if we did a capital project in the beginning of the year, whatever, we can go under capital lease payments?
Well, the capital lease payments, basically, you know what they are, they're like loan payments.
Yeah, that's set to
That's a
85.
financing lease.
Right.
Okay, so that 85,210 is what we actually are committed to pay next
Right.
year, regardless. Okay, we have to pay it, okay? If you're going to put that excavator in, that's, how much was that?
It was 103,000.
You're going to put 103,000 into your budget, that's going to raise your taxes.
That's gotta go capital too.
I would think so.
Right.
Unless you want to raise taxes that much, I'm against it, but if you guys.
What would the first payment be due then if we did a capital project at the beginning of the year?
Well, if a lease, sometimes it depends upon the leasing company and when you get it. A lot of times we get them like in the middle of the year and the first lease payment doesn't come to the following year,
Okay.
okay?
A lot of
Which
it's
you need,
timing.
I'm sorry.
A lot of it's timing.
Right, a lot of it is timing, and either way, you wouldn't put it into the budget. You know what I'm saying? Into the 2018 budget anyway, because if you did that and you postponed the payment until 2019, then it would go into, that payment would go into the 2019 budget.
Okay.
Okay?
But if we took it, so Rick, that 64,000, that was for that truck, right? That was in there, the F550?
No,
Truck
that's,
and brush box.
that's basically small stuff, a number of small items. We picked out all the big items, leaving it for the board to consider, going out the bond for. Those are basically just the smaller items.
Okay.
Right, Danny?
Correct.
Okay, so we've got, on highway part-time, we've got 30,000 being added to curbside, we've got 20,000 being added to seasonal, and 15,000 coming off of OT.
Yes.
You're frowning, Jim.
I didn't hear, did you say 20 to seasonal?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Adding 20
Yeah,
yeah,
to
okay.
seasonal, adding 30 for the curbside,
Deducting 50.
and taking 15 out the OT
Okay, and then these what we'll do is we'll put projects together.
for the large capital.
Yep.
Anything else on highway?
No.
Anything on anything? I mean, there's not much else except for the district.
Yeah. The sewer fund, I know last year, paid back the 75,000 to the sewer fund. Are we doing that again this year? Or?
Yeah, we made a board resolution, I think, a year or two ago, that we were going through 75,000 a year in totals.
Okay. Is it,
And that's what we've been doing.
okay. I couldn't find it in here, so maybe I don't know.
It's not.
It's not an expenditure,
Okay,
It's a
it's a transfer.
okay. all right.
And it's not even a transfer, it's like when you pay back, it doesn't show up in the budget because it's not an appropriation from one to the other. Just like when we borrow the money from that fund, we don't show it as a revenue, and therefore when you pay it back, we don't show it as an expenditure.
Okay. And then, the last thing I had was the website was taken out from last year. There's nothing there. So I was gonna go ahead and get that.
Where's that?
What
NAA?
website?
Where is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I
What do you mean, last year?
Well, no, we had money in there to pay the fees for the yearly website, so they took them out, but it's still up.
What line item where are you talking about?
Well, that's what I'm asking, it's not in here at all, I looked through
Well,
it.
we put it in during the year, I don't know if we put it in under something else, but since you brought that up, we did get a bill from Evo. Well, you know, we have tried consistently to get a signed contract from them, and we have still not received it.
Okay,
So we sent a letter out, I sent a letter out today to them saying, hey, listen, until we get a signed contract, we're not paying anything,
okay,
okay? Just so you know.
okay,
All right? And if you have contact with him, you know, just ask him to get us a signed contract, because we sent him one a long time ago, and we've sent him numerous requests, and
Okay.
he hasn't gotten back to us. But
Okay.
anyway, yeah, I don't know where that is, Danny. I know we put it in, but we put it in as one lump figure. But we've got to go back and check that, because didn't we prepay something on that, and we got a deal on it?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Didn't we prepay the fees?
well, that was for like the year before, that was to set up and do the work, but now to actually have the thing running and have all these components actually on there, so they'll be able to see, you know, maps, all kinds of stuff off the side, everything that they do, there's a yearly fee, so I don't know if we sent you that bill or not.
Well, that's the one I was talking about. Well, it's, I guess, I'll show it to you. It's
Okay.
$1,500,
Okay,
and it's website management or whatever. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
assuming that's what you're talking about.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
And then there was just, the other thing was Rick's department. We talked about this. You know, Candy picks up the phone, gets a message, you know, puts a note on Rick's desk. We were looking for like some kind of call center software package that when Candy gets a phone call, she documents it, and then it goes into, again, like a database.
Well, Candy won't be doing it, but go ahead.
All right, well, whoever's there. So somebody can manage the tasks that come in. So like if somebody comes in and calls about a storm drain or anything like that, it's documented and then actually shows you, you know, it's red, if it's, you know, 15 days old or 30 days old, if it's green, it's yellow. So people know where things are, and off that too, they can generate a PO to go out and do the work and track their hours they put on and material that they use. And then it all saves in there. And it's only a $1,500 package that I talked to with one of the engineers. So
So that creates the work orders for the.
it creates
for
the,
job.
yeah, it creates the,
Actually back.
yep. I mean, you know, it starts at the phone call
Yep.
at the secretary's desk. And then Rick can also go out to a site. Instead of him coming back and seeing a bunch of letters on his desk and notes and stuff, it's actually on his phone. It's all document all the phone calls. So if he doesn't come back, he can check it and just go to the next site if he has to or whatever. So, and it also tracks it too, because, you know, if a resident calls and says, hey, you know, no one's called me back in 2 years or something didn't happen or whatever. It's,
Where are you plugging that in?
in Rick's, again, I just put a line item software, but it would probably go under equipment. There's equipment here.
5130.2.
On new
21?
machinery?
DB,
Oh, no, 21,
DB?
okay. Yeah,
513021.
Yeah,
5130.2.
equipment GPS.
Purchase new
Oh, I'm
machinery.
sorry, yes, okay.
Okay.
And how much did you say it was about?
It was $1,500, yeah.
What else you got?
I asked Dan for just outstanding bond and band payments, and he sent that to me, so I have that, and I'll forward it to the board too. If you want to see, but that was about it.
Jimmy?
Yep, under special items, AA 1960-04 house demo.
Yeah.
So we increased it to 15,000, and since we get reimbursed, I was wondering if we do bring it down to 20,000. And then, Dan, do we have a tree special just for the tree?
Well, wait a minute, before you go on, that's a direct reimbursement, so if you're gonna drop that down, you gotta drop the revenue down, so it zeroes out. Yeah, because it's not gonna give you 10 grand, okay?
So, I thought we had one in there for tree removal.
Well, if we did, it's in highway.
It's in brush, with brush.
Rush, which is in highway, right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, we have 30,000 in there.
30,000.
DB
But
5140.
that's not just for,
No, not just specifically tree removal.
we break that out, I mean, 'cause I think, Rick, you get a lot of separate things. We separate that out and make, allocate certain funds to that tree removal.
You mean make it 10,000 for trees and 10 for the rest? What do you think, Rick?
Do we need more?
You still have a tipping fee to get rid of brush, whether we
Right.
Whether it's a
take
tree
it
or
to
not.
Sloan's or we take it to the county. We still gotta pay to get rid of it.
So what are you saying, 30's not enough?
So you're saying no? Is that what you're saying? Is
I
that
don't-
what that?
I don't think 30's enough for both.
All right.
That's also to take trees down too?
Yes.
So where do you think, so where are you running at, Rick? With tipping and the,
Normally it costs us $20,000 or $25,000 to bring the company in to chip what we have. So if we're gonna haul it away, handle it once, 20 should cover that tipping fee. Depending on the trees, some trees it costs us $3 grand. So if it doesn't cover many trees, 10,000. There's quite a few on there right away that are, we didn't plant.
Can we go back and find out who planted it?
so I say, make that, it's at 30 now? Make it 40?
What are you making it?
40?
Hey, Jimmy, what else you got?
Water districts.
Yep.
So Willowdale has a surplus.
Who?
Willowdale?
Yep. They had a surplus.
Settled out or
Huh?
that?
Yeah, you'll see a drop in the tax rate, plus we upped the contract for them, as per our discussion that we had with them back in West Point.
You got the revised sheet.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we got the trash.
Okay, Dave,
I did it as we went along.
pardon me?
I did it as we went along.
Okay. Rich, you got anything else?
Hey, can I ask Darlene a question?
Sure.
Darlene, we still have special metals, tax cert, we have DG, both of which are big ones. There were a couple more that came into you.
Wasn't it Cosworth and Velarde?
Yeah, that's the house that burnt that is assessed at like $1 million or something.
Yep. Well, he's at 450,000. because he's not completed, there's nobody in it yet.
All right, because I'm wondering if that shouldn't be at 20, because you
I think
were
it should be
41.
1,000. Hey, we lose all these damn these damn cases anyway, okay? Why are we paying the money?
Somebody's got to defend it. You want to not defend it?
I go with the guy with the best record.
I'd
Yeah,
like to
you
see-
just took my raise away from me by 3%. It's gone.
I didn't do that.
You took it.
I'd like to have the school and the county pitch in on these.
Well, the
I
school
think that's
does,
great.
but I agree with the county, but I don't think you did.
I know.
Especially when he just passed the budget with a
Right.
tax decrease.
Right.
It's not gonna be,
Well,
They
that's
should be
not right.
county, you know.
I agree.
Special metals is a huge one. BG is the Walmart Consumer Square Plaza. And I didn't Sangertown refile?
I didn't get anything from Sangertown. I hope not.
That
But you
was my
think we
only
need some
comment.
special counsel for that?
Well, yeah, you know, we spent 40 last year. I agree with Pat, though, now Sangertown is pretty much gone, Utica National's gone, Home Depot's gone, which was freezer of legal.
Okay. Depending upon what that reduction, I gotta be honest with you, I don't like Rich's proposal to not give raises to the non-union people. If you go back through history, every time a board wanted to get money, these people suffered. So there was many, many years where all the unionized people got 3%, 2%, whatever, normally it's 3%, and the non-union people got nothing, okay? They have all paid their contributions to health insurance just as much percentage-wise as the union people did. The majority of the employees here, probably about 80, maybe even more than that, are unionized now. And you're punishing the non-union people for not being in the union. Several years ago, I think before all of you guys were on the board, we did this, and the parks were included in non-union, and they went out and formed the union. Okay? I'm not saying that the non-union people are going to do that, but, you know, you just can't keep pushing these people and saying you're not going to give them a raise. You know? If you look at, I know there are one or two department heads here that make decent money. I don't think it's big money, but it's livable money. But you look at some of these other people, and these are low wages, and now you're going to take a 3% increase away from them. I don't agree with that at all. And I'm not even sure what that amounts to be honest with you. Danny, I don't know if you got the figure. I know you got the figures in your office. I don't know what it is here. Or whether that amounts to 50,000, I'm not sure.
I think you make a good point in that they're paying a chunk for health insurance. I think that's significant. And I think we worked hard to get that at the union level also. And one of the selling points was that non-union was paying. And there was no pushback at all that I'm aware of from our non-union employees. I think that's significant, 15%.
Well, right now, I've got, Danny, I don't know if you've been totaling this, but with the plus and minuses, without the, whatever you're going to pick up from taking away from the non-union people, I've got about 55,000
Yeah, I,
at this point, netted out between all of these. That basically, again, depending upon what you do with the non-union people, whether you go along with Rich's or not, but you're basically talking a 55% tax increase. That's a 55% increase. That's more than what they had in 2009, the year before, you know. Probably a little bit less. What's 55 times 3, what's 3/4 of 55? 41 cent increase. No, I'm sorry, it's not that much, is it? 4 cents, it'd be a 4% increase. 4.1% increase. 4 cents on the dollar. 4 cents per thousand. Move the decimal. That'd be about, it's 3/4 of a cent for every $10,000 worth of expense. So it'll be about a little over 4% tax increase. Again, without looking at 90%. But I gotta be honest with you, to take away from the non-union people for these things is a shame.
Yeah, I can't keep the same thing, 54,000.
If you take 3/4, it'd be about 4.1 cents.
But this one's a tax decrease of 1.5, so it's a 2.5 increase actually, right? This is a decrease of 1.5, you said it's up 4% with that.
There's not a decrease.
It's the same.
It's basically the same, it's a fraction of a cent down from last year. but no.
Oh, okay.
So those figures back, with the overtime taken out for, was it parks, 11,000 and
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the nine, I'll tell you what I got, I'm sorry, Dan, but I'll tell you what I got, just so you know,
Okay.
without the non-union being considered, I got 1,500 being added to 1110.02, which is the software. Something. Maybe I missed something here. 1110.04, Danny. Did we add something to that?
We had-
1087,
1087.
$10,870.
That's that's not gonna have any effect of 10,870,
Because that was the quote.
because we're picking that up from fund balance.
Oh, that was the grant, okay.
Great.
Then I had 1,500 going into the 1355.02.
Yep.
10,000 engineering software, 1440.02.
Yeah, you missed the 7,500 in courts. Did you?
Well, no, we didn't do that.
We didn't, I don't
You
think
decided
they,
not to do that?
Yeah.
then I got a $9,000 reduction in the overtime in parks, 7110.16.
Mhm.
$7,200 increase in part-town, general part-town, 8010.2. $30,000 increase for the curbside, which is 5110.5. Seasonal, 5110.14, 20,000. $15,000 reduction in 5142.11. Highway,
Yeah,
$1,500 increase in DB 5130.02. That's that record keeping thing.
how would that, is that 1,500, did you say?
Yeah, that's for the record keeping for the phone system. And then 10,000 in 5140.04 trees, DB, which is being added for trees.
Yeah.
Could you, is that what you got?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think we missed, we taken out the overtime in both rec center and parks. I just mentioned one.
Yeah. it's 11,000, right?
I had the 9,000 for the parks, the overtime taken out. The rec center, I don't know, we could talk about it, but I think you're gonna have a tough time at the rec center.
So what is it, just winter time, because we got seasonal in the summer? The
Yeah,
kids
but
are-
most of that overtime is for the rec center, because we're running almost 24 hours a day over there on the ice. You gotta have somebody out there with a Zamboni to
Three hours
resurface.
in the morning.
Did you get town assessor equipment, $1,000? Did you get that?
No,
AA 1355.4, I thought we increased that by 1,000.
I didn't hear that.
What was that for?
That's for the laptop, for the iPad, isn't it?
Yeah, it was an iPad, to go out and site, take pictures
Was
and
that
stuff.
1,000 or 1,500?
It was well, it was 500 in there, so it was 1,500 total.
Okay, well, that was included in the 1355.02 I had. So instead of 1,500, it should be 1,000. So you're adding 1,000.
To the 500.
Right.
So, yeah, because actually it's 1352.2, Danny, that's the equipment.
And then
So actually that 50, I'm sorry, Paul,
Okay.
that 54,700 that I had would actually be 54,200, because I had an extra 500.
And a question too, the bonding for Grange Hill and stuff, where is that coming to play with you next year?
It's under the it'll be under a capital project. The bonding we've already got, it's sitting in the capital project. Once that capital project is done, and of course the payments, when the payments come out, they'll be into the budget.
Now, in parts, you got contractual for 70,000 in there also.
No,
You know what the breakdown of that is?
I have it, yeah. I mean, we cut that. He had, I think, 84. We took 12 or 14 out of there. And that usually comes in, you know, right about, there. I do have his budget sheet breakdown. Yeah, I mean, it's always, you know, it's been 65 to 70, sometimes higher.
Well, you got gas, you got uniforms, you got shoes, volunteers.
So our sales tax is at AA-1120, that's our revenue.
Yeah.
So based off of this year, I mean,
You jack that up.
we 600.
It's in
600,000.
I'm looking at page 1 and 2 under other tax items. Is that, I think that's,
Oh, that's not other taxes.
trying to find where that.
The 11, sales tax is gonna be an 1120 account.
Yeah, isn't that what you said, 1120?
Yeah, right, 1120.
But it's, sales tax is in various funds, it's not just in
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it's not we didn't, there's no 600.
Well, from last year.
Oh, you mean increased?
Yeah.
Oh,
AA. Just in gen, yeah.
I thought you meant we had $600 in there for it. Sales tax, we jumped up by,
220,000.
no, it was more than that. Based upon what we were looking at in the current year, last year was stagnant. This year, we've had 2 quarters come in that were higher than what they were. Actually, last year was a little bit higher than what we had anticipated from the prior year. Danny and I took a look at it. We jumped it up to
5,550,000.
But when also looking at that increase, we also had to take into consideration search orders, which are not reflected, which we haven't seen yet because they haven't hit the county rolls yet. Those will affect the sales tax. When we originally looked at Sangertown, the figure I got from the county would be that Sangertown alone would cost us $60,000 a year in sales tax. And then we looked at the other ones that we didn't do well on this year. Home Depot, Utica National, Animal. So we came up with a figure of taking, I think, 90,000 off of the figure that we originally came up with, and that's how we came up with the increase that we did. There should have been bigger jumps in highway and police, if you look at sales. I don't know how it got broken down. Yeah, there was an increase of 100 and something in police. So, anyway, but it gets allocated to where it needed.
Just gonna make a general statement, you know, because Paul, you can probably attest to this too. I mean, we've been, Pat, you too probably, going around knocking door to doors. I mean, I know the big thing is people want services, and curbside is a big thing. And what I'm hearing is they don't mind a 1, you know, or 2% increase if they're getting service for it. I mean, just the raise taxes. You know, I think here, you know, if we validate, you know, what we're trying to accomplish, you know, if we have to go up a percent or so, I don't think it's going to be perceived negatively out there if we state what we're doing as an increase. That's I'm just going to make just a general statement. So I'm hearing consistently going door to door based on the people I've spoken with. It seems like that's a consensus. I don't know if you heard that as well.
It's the same thing. I mean, you know, the biggest things is, you know, the leaves getting picked up. People want their brush picked up, their leaves picked up, their garbage day. I mean, that's all I heard all summer long. And, you know, I think, you know, when I sat down with Rick, we came up with a more efficient plan. And again, to get the guys that are experienced and, you know, digging creeks and getting stuff ready before floods and, you know, putting in storm drains and doing driveway drains. And, I mean, those are the most, you know, emails that I get and the most complaints I get and things that, you know, people want us to have done. And the only way really to do that is, again, free up the guys that are experienced in that area and yet less experienced guys picking up leaves. I mean, because me and Jim went out there and did leaves. It's
A lot of
separating.
complaints on that.
It's
too.
exactly.
Oh,
It was-
we got people coming out shaking their hands. We're talking about.
Well, actually, last year was a good year.
Yeah.
We bought those new machines, and I know a few years ago, we went through some tough times. We bought the new machines, I think it's been doing well. But to get back to the trash thing, Jim, I mean, for the 8 years I've been in office here, I've probably had at the most 10 people come up to me about curbside trash. And once I explained to them the program we had, the majority of them, if maybe not all of them, didn't even know about the program we had, especially the one where you pay $10, we'll come up and pick it up anytime you want, not even restricted to that 1 week or whatever out of the summer. Personally, and I don't know about the rest of it, the curbside trash has not been an issue. Leaves at one point were. I think we got that under control last year. Rick started early, we got that. But curbside, to me, has never, we've had a lot of other issues. I agree with Paul, you know, getting the guys out. If you get into this curbside, and I don't know how you're going to do it, but you got to have somebody driving one of those trucks out there, and you got to have somebody with a payloader out there. Now you're doing the complete opposite of what Paul's talking about. You're taking 2 guys, at least 2 guys, because you're going to have a guy driving that truck and a guy driving that piece of equipment, which could be doing what Paul's talking about. So you've just decreased the availability of what Paul was talking about, two experienced guys, which are, MEOs that you gotta have out there to drive these trucks and equipment. And now you're putting them out, picking up trash, when they could be doing the stuff that Paul's talking about. Go ahead.
Well, I think you're 100% correct. There's a more efficient way to do brush and leaves pickup. I know there was a time a month ago or so where Rick was way behind, and through some shared services agreements, he had another municipality come in and help him out with it. And I get complaints on, they were supposed to pick it up on Monday, here it is Friday, nothing's been picked up. And I understand what he's up against. There is a much more efficient way to do it, and I think you've hit on it. The trash pickup, or the curbside pickup, I don't hear any complaints on it.
Well, you wouldn't, you live in the village.
No, I live in the village, that's right.
You get it.
But the majority, I've got a huge area
just saying.
of high-end homes that nobody complains about. And I just think the program,
Listen, you're right. What we have in place, does it work? Yes,
it works beautifully.
But in addition to that, they still want, I'm sorry, you know what I mean? And I gotta fight for them, whether I'm here in 3 months or not, I don't know, but I'm gonna fight for it now. And I think if we have to go up 1% because we bring back curbside trash pickup, I don't think anybody's gonna care. I really don't. I hope we can get down
I think you're
to
talking
even.
100%.
Yeah, I think you're talking 1%, but, the thing of it is, Jim, and I don't know, because I live in a village too, but still, I represent the whole town. But if you drive around the village, and what I hear from those one or two people that want curbside pickup, they say, well, you got a couch, you got a hot water heater, the proverbial hot water heater. I don't know how many times I've heard nobody has hot water. I'll tell you, I've had hot waters replaced, and the guy that puts them in takes it away with him, okay? What you end up with, and you drive around the village here, and you're gonna see it, you end up with trash. It's trash. It's not a sofa. You get one or two sofas. You don't get hot water heaters. You get trash. And I mean boxes of trash sitting out there, okay? And, stuff that anybody that could put in the back of their car and drive down to our dumpster and have one of our guys take it out, okay? And we've had, and I know we had an incident at the beginning of the year on my road, okay? All of a sudden, you got cars out there. What's that car doing out there? What's this going on? Next thing I know, I got a neighbor saying, hey, what's that car? Now, all of a sudden, we take one of our patrols to go down there to find out that somebody's down there picking through somebody else's garbage down there, okay? And my personal opinion on this is that for, 1/6 of the town, how we do? 6 weeks, 4 weeks?
Depending if it's heavy, 6.
All right, well, 1/6 of the town for a week, okay, looks like a dump, and it really does. And I'll tell you, God bless the village, because they do it in one day. But I'll tell you, when you drive through the village, and it does, it looks like a dump. But fortunately for them, they get it done in one day.
And they also supplement it on weekends during the summer. You can take it.
You can take it down to the dumpster every second Saturday.
At the village. So I understand your issue, I really do.
So it's a
And I
first
represent
word,
the
that's
whole
fine.
town also.
We all do. I mean,
Right,
but
right.
I mean, in our reality, again, this is it's what they want. You know what I mean? And it's not like they're asking for a lot. They just want the trash pickup, and that's it. Okay, it's not. I mean, they commend the roads, they commend the police and the fire, everything. It's just it's one thing they want. I mean, if we can just give them that, I understand the whole.
How many people are we talking about here?
A
Jim?
lot.
What's a lot?
A lot.
I'm not clear on this whole lot thing. I've never been clear on
Oh.
this. I mean, are we talking
I probably
10,
had
20?
No, we're talking like I can't even tell you hundreds. I've knocked on
We're
doors.
talking 100
Everybody.
people.
Over 100. definitely.
200?
Probably. I probably knocked on 500 doors.
Do you know that's 1% of the entire town population?
So put it in the first ward. I make a motion. What do you want?
If we can make a district out of it and charge those people, I'd be more than happy to go with it. I just don't see a big call for it. And besides, you turn this town into a garbage pit. For 6 weeks out of the summer, you're gonna go through there. You're taking two guys, at least two guys, because somebody's gotta drive the dump truck, somebody's gotta drive the payloader. You're taking at least two guys off for a month and a half. They could be doing this stuff that Paul's talking about. You're talking about, I know you're gonna get calls to the PD, because we always do. Okay, they get them in the village, okay? I got a mysterious car wagon, he's stealing my neighbor's garbage over here.
Half the stuff is picked up from the pickers anyway, so we're picking.
Yeah,
And is that what you really
It's
want?
not a good thing, I don't think.
Right. Is that what you
That's
really
not,
want?
we're not picking up a lot. What I'm saying is, what we have is probably picked up rather quickly, so we're not really that of a junk pile, is what I'm saying. I mean, who knows how much they're gonna put out, because we have the other service still in play. I mean, they're utilizing, it might be a little pile here, it might be a little pile there, one pile might be bigger. I can't predict that, but again, it goes back down to the services that people want. Well, yeah, and Rich, you guys don't get, if you're on board with it, speak up, because I'm out here hanging.
No, not at all. Listen, I'm the one
I'm
that,
supportive of it, I'm certainly supportive of that.
Yeah,
I wanna keep it in the budget, is what I'm saying.
yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we're down to the point where I think what we've done in the past, it's been a long time since we did this. We'll go through each one and we'll take a vote. Well, not an official vote, but a vote on each one of these items, and we'll either leave it in, take it out, and then we'll see what we got left, all right? Is that okay with everybody?
Don't we know what we have right now, if everything stays in?
Well, depending upon the non-union wages. If everything's without the non-union,
Oh, okay.
and there's gotta be a couple adjustments that I talked about at the beginning.
55.7 without the non-union, 55,700.
And not what the adjustments that we talked about this morning for the change in the,
Right. No.
okay, so 55.7 equates to what? 75% of that is what? No. No. 75% of 54, or 5 cents, 500 cents.
$0.04.
4 cents, okay, so it's 4% tax increase that we're looking at right now without anything on the non-union people.
Without anything on the non-union people.
If you freeze the non-union in 2017, then you're gonna make up a big chunk of it. Okay? I'm not factoring that in. We'll leave that for last. Okay, so anyway, the 1,500 to courts for the software, the 1110.02. All in favor to keep that in? Paula? Okay, so we have 4, okay? I go no. Okay. The $1,000 for the assessor's office, 1355.04, again, for the software itself.
Yeah. Oh, she's here. Darlene, what do you think? What would make it more efficient for you to go out, take pictures of homes and get the stuff uploaded and?
We were, John, what's his name, John, I think his name, from, SDG, had that program that if we had the, like you said, the laptop or the iPad,
Was iPad,
and it
yeah.
was just, it would go directly right to the system, and if Joe needed something, if I was out, it would go right to him.
Okay. So for $1,000, I mean, would it be more efficient for you to do it this way?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, so I say aye.
Okay. No. Okay. Engineering, $10,000 software. For documenting the sewers, et cetera, into account 1440.02.
Aye.
I think I think it's a good idea, but I think if we could hold off on it, I think it'd be better off.
Well, again, this was something we talked about when Flood was here, and people were thinking about hiring a salary job making $40,000 a year
I don't
to.
think we should do that either.
Right, I didn't either, but this would be something Chris and Rick could organize where we have retention ponds, where we have the issues that we have, and actually document them, so years to come, again, we're not trying to find retention ponds, I mean.
No, I understand the issue.
Because the problem is every time somebody retires or somebody leaves or changes hands or something, all the work that was done with that
I'm
person.
not saying it's not a good idea, just
Right.
look at the budget too.
Listen, I understand. Listen, the last thing I want to do is raise taxes, but if you're not progressive and move ahead, we're not going to track where we have problems with storms and other issues. Because again, I want to be more proactive than reactive. And if we have another storm next summer, and we still don't know where these issues are, and the retention ponds that are overgrown, I mean, we put it in the hands of parks, and they're just not getting maintained like they should. Some places, they don't even know where they are, they're forgetting, or it's not being documented properly. So you'll see one retention pond getting done, then you'll see another one on like Pleasant Ave that goes for 4 months, and I have neighbors calling me for 3 weeks straight
Yeah, so
asking me when it's gonna be done.
that's an issue that we need to look at, for sure.
So, I mean, if, we talk about garbage gonna make the town look bad for a couple of weeks. This makes the town look bad, and it's been months, it's been horrible, especially in my district. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's gotta be cleaned up.
Pleasant Ave looks like a dump site with the lawn overgrown. I mean, we fine and go after our residents for not doing their lawn, but we don't even take care of our own lawns. So, this software here is to track all that. It's really to make it, put accountability too, to the people that are getting it done and see where we are. I mean, they're gonna track hours and time and, right now, again, we're writing it down on paper, we put it in a filing cabinet. If somebody leaves or forgets about it, it just gets pushed by the wayside. And to make it more efficient, again, for Rick's group down there and Chris, we'll know when these things are getting done. I mean, right now, we can't. Residents call us and ask us, we can't really answer when they're getting done or how they're gonna get done.
Is that's separate though from, that's a different software.
Well, there's two. So this one here is actually gonna track GPS coordinates of all our assets in the town,
GPS, yeah.
and also where our issues are. And if we fixed our issues and maintained our issues, it's gonna be in this software. The other one is for all the call logs that come in to Rick's department.
Right. I think that's right.
And also codes could use it, so when people call up, 3 months later and they say, oh, nobody called me back or something like that, and Rick never got a message because it was on a piece of paper, it's not fair to him or the resident. So this, by documenting everything, again, it just makes accountability for everybody. They're gonna know if this job's getting done or not. And also, we're gonna know how long it took and what material we used, so we know next year or the following year, hey, how much storm drains do we really need? How much do we use? It's all gonna be documented this way. So,
Is that a yes for the GPS system?
I mean, I said yes.
Jimmy?
And plus, we just went out and spent $9,000 on a GPS system for, to
Well,
do
that's
that.
something different. Jimmy?
I know it's valuable if it helps in preventing, doing like preventive maintenance, and we use it properly for it.
Okay, so it's two.
I think a little coordinated effort between the highway department and the parks department can identify these. I understand the value here, but I think it's $10,000, so we could,
Way to say leave it in.
3-2. Stays in. Okay, now, the reduction in overtime in parks by $9,000. So account 7110.16. You take another one?
Try and remember that.
Cool, slow.
So you think tomorrow this budget could be all different from where? That's the way it used to be. Herb and I could tell you stories from back in the village. Anyway, I'm sorry, Jordan. Overtime, $9,000 reduction in parks.
I say we take it out, if we can, maybe we can pick up in season, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really see what we're doing, so I guess.
All right, two to leave it in.
My only question is, I don't think any of us know exactly what that is, and I would like some input from Carson. We'll take it out at this point. Yes.
Yes.
No, 41. Okay. $7,200 being added to 8010.2.
That's in,
Big B, part-time. That's for codes,
Yeah, zoning,
zoning codes.
That's for the software?
Software and equipment.
I mean, that's not gonna make anything, you know, that has nothing to do with stormwater or anything, that's just gonna make a more efficient way of doing it, so. Yeah, if you guys wanna take that out and leave it the system that we got, I mean, that's, yeah, we can maybe
Yeah, I
look
think
at
we
it
can
next year.
Look at all of these again.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm just, but the other one, with the retention ponds and stuff, really gotta get on that. I mean, really gotta find out, like, right now, there's a lady in the audience tonight about her creek back there. And again, this is, instead of, now Rick goes out there, he can document that this is, you know, a maintenance area, and we're not going back again 2 years from now saying, oh, there's a maintenance area, you know what I mean? So that's gonna actually take care of issues that we have. And, you know, we spoke about that during flooding, we told residents we're gonna try to be, you know, a little proactive with it. So that I think is, but this one here is just a convenience thing, so, you know, if you wanna take the 7,200 out,
No,
you know,
no. 0 to 5. Okay, $30,000 curbside trash pickup, 5110.5.
Yes.
Okay, let's start with conference.
yes,
Yes, start with you, or yes, you're for it?
yes, I'm for it.
Okay. Are we good on that figure, by the way, Rick? 30,000 for curbside pickup?
We haven't done it since '09.
How much did it cost us in '09?
About 40,000.
Wait a minute.
Was that
Wait a
once or
minute.
twice?
Wait a minute. 8 years ago, it cost us 40,000, and we're putting 30,000 in the budget? And there's some here that don't work.
We're 40 in tipping fees?
No, because in 2000, I sat here, 2013, we put in 20. And
Yeah.
We never put anything in the budget.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, it's right here, 20,000.
Rick, would you still,
Go ahead.
Rick, would you still maintain the drop-off too?
Yes. Other than the months that they do curbside, we would drop it at the building.
And it's not a lot of money, but there's a revenue stream there, isn't it?
Yes. What I do today compared to what I did in '09, it costs the town about $3,500 because we get the steel, we get the metal, we take it down for junk, and we see that the checks come back from that metal. So if you were to take that money to offset it, that's what it costs us today in tipping fees,
How much?
about $3,500.
If that drop-off costs us $3,500.
You mean for what we're doing now?
Right.
It costs about $600.
Yeah.
But you're serious? Back in '09, it cost us 40,000?
Between the tipping fees and the diesel fuel for the trucks, running down, you had to take that consideration too, was about 40,000.
You can't really do that with two people either.
Just the whole crew,
Yeah.
not two people.
Whoa, wait a minute. The whole crew? When you say the whole crew, you're not talking, how many people? 8 people?
No, we're
Talking
talking
3
probably,
million.
all our dump trucks, they had the tractor trailer back then. By the time they fill up the trucks, they take it right to Utica, come back. You're talking at least 15, 16 employees. They have 3 loaders out there loading the trucks.
I just think there's an awful exposure
How
out
many-
there also.
How many people would be like like no MEOs, I mean, like a basic labor, like you could use for seasonal out of that 16 people? I mean, I know you got some people out there that rake it into the payload.
But if you were to take the seasonal help that they got into the new budget, those seasonals would be doing that work, so we could take those guys and do other things. Because we're actually adding manpower to the crew.
Right, but you can't have seasonal guys driving a payloader or driving a
No.
dump truck.
No, there'd be
Flag.
one guy driving the truck and probably 3 or 4 on each crew putting the stuff in the truck.
Right, so how many of our guys now would you be using? Let's get this simplified.
8 to 10?
See, and that's what I mean. I mean, I was figuring 2 guys. But if you're talking 8 to 10, that's 8 to 10 guys.
Well, I guess our conversation,
It's a whole town.
I guess our conversation changed from our discussion that we had. So let's bring out the whole thing. So me and Rick sat down for a long time and looked at everything that we were doing. And what the whole part of this plan was to add, for one, a compactor truck for brush removal, because Whitesboro does it. It's a very efficient way to do it.
That's a very good
And
idea.
then Rick agreed with me at the time that a compactor and a leaf truck would take the heavy guys off those things and put them on stormwater repair work.
Right.
So that's where this whole conversation went. And then they said, okay, if you have the seasonal employees, and if I remember correctly, when I was sitting with Rick, we said we're gonna have 4,000 hours of seasonal part-time, not just kids, part-time employees working from May 1st to September or October 31st. These guys would do brush pickup, leaf pickup, the efficient way. The backloader, I want off the streets regardless of what we're doing, because that is crazy.
You're talking about the big front end loader?
Yeah, the big front end loaders
Right.
need to get off the streets.
Right.
We're ripping up tires that are, you know, very expensive, we're destroying roads, they're getting multiple complaints
You're gonna
about it.
have these guys throwing that brush up into the dump truck?
No, the guys take the brush, they put it into a compactor truck. The object
Oh,
was
into
to
the
get,
compactor,
to
okay.
get a compactor truck and do it, just like Whitesboro does, very efficiently, and they're on time, I gotta give it to them, they're on time, they get their brush picked up.
Yep.
The leaf truck is a 2-man situation.
Yep.
You know, actually it's a 1-man with the leaf trucks. They got the leaf on the side, now we have 3 guys. So we're eliminating that, we're putting 1 in the leaf truck. And Rick said this in our meeting, that he can get twice the work done, or even more in a week than we're doing now. And again, our heavy guys are sitting there doing paving, doing excavating work, using them for what they're good for.
Okay, but getting back to the curbside trash.
Yeah. So we're gonna use guys at $10.75 an hour, and again, we'd have
To
the.
do what?
Well, we'd have a compactor truck. We'd have a guy driving, we have 1 guy in the back loading the compactor truck, 1 guy in the front, which is MEO, that's driving the truck. So it's a 2-man operation, and it
Or
would go
curbside pick.
for curbside pickup. Also for brush pickup, and then leaf
Okay, well,
would be.
let's stick with the curbside,
Okay.
and let's not get
Which is, he's
confused.
just supporting the
Now,
the plan.
You're gonna run one compactor truck? That's a question, Rick.
It depends on what they buy.
Well, no, let's say that you buy a compactor
If we-
truck like the
if-
villages got or
If we
whatever.
buy 2 trucks and send 1 this side of town and 1 that side of town, you're talking 2 guys driving the trucks and 4 of those laborers, 2 on each truck on the back end.
So,
It's multi-use.
2 guys, 1 for each truck.
Yeah.
And then the other ones can be common laborers.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And how much does this truck cost?
$183 apiece.
You guys gotta be nuts.
But wait, there's-
$363,000.
Well, what, there's a grant to get back one of the trucks, right?
Right.
There's 183,000 we get back, so one of the trucks are free through DEC. So we're getting 2, but we're paying for 1, and there's a grant for that.
Still, $183,000 to pick up trash?
Well, we gotta.
Curbside that you haven't
No,
done
no,
for
but
8 years?
no, we're not buying the compactor trucks for curbside. Curbside wasn't even really in the talks.
Right,
What
that's
we're
what I
doing-
want
That's gonna
clarified.
be for the brush pickup, and we're
Right.
gonna have leaf trucks for leaf pickup, where we're getting our complaints, the service that we give the town. Curbside wasn't even in play, but you can use the compactors for curbside, which we wouldn't use the loaders and we wouldn't use the dump trucks that we have. So that's a separate thing, but the object of the compactor was to pick up the brush like Whitesboro. Am I right, Rick? Are we on the same? So Whitesboro picks it up with a compactor. It's more efficient because again, they're not running a
I
payload
think
through
you
their
can, I
town.
think you can go through the town a lot quicker with a compact.
Oh, 100%. Your village does it. They do a great job.
I agree.
So does that help with the tipping, the chipping fees?
I don't know.
Anyway, where do we stand on this? We got a what? Curbside,
I
yes?
got a yes.
Yes.
No.
No. 3-2. Yes, it stays it. Okay. Next up, $20,000 added to seasonal employees, 5110.14.
So I guess I got my last question. Rick, if we got the seasonal employees, we'll be able to get done what we need to do then, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a yes. Jimmy?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 4-1. I vote no. Okay, Reduction of the overtime by 15,000, 5142.11. That's DB, highway.
Yes.
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 No. Okay,
We're lowering it by 15, and yes.
yes. And that stays in. The only one that's out so far is the 7,200 for the codes or zoning. Okay, then we got 1,500, this is the 5130.02. This is the phone thing that Paul was talking about before with the messages and such. So it's a yes. Jimmy?
Yes.
I thought we already did that.
No. No, we did the GPS for the tracking the sewers and stuff.
Okay, so which one is this now?
This one is for the, like the call center, come in, you want to create work tickets or POs.
How much?
It's 15.
15.
Tracks everything.
Yes.
Yes.
4 to 1. No. Okay, $10,000 for trees, 5140.04.
Now, question for you, Rick, before we vote. So if we go with compactors, does that reduce our chipping? Or no?
Yeah, because we handle
So-
it once. We pick it up off the street, it goes to the county, we get rid of it. Now we pick it up, either we drop it off to the site behind our building, or we take it, which you have to handle it another 2 or 3 times. Or we take it to Sloan's.
So,
And this year, Sloan started charging us almost the same tipping fee as Atlantic County. But we have to get rid of it. If I get rid of it, if I dump it behind us and our land over there and chip it, DEC watches what we do, and it has to be off that site yearly.
so
So I have to get rid of the chips, so then I handle it again.
with the compactor, it's more efficient.
One way to the unit goes, you handle it once, gone.
So, what do you think your projection, because I don't know the answer. We have in there, what, you said, what, 30,000? For,
Russian
yeah.
leads. Right now it's
So you think you'll use 20 for, I don't know. But if you go to the compactors, does that obviously reduce that fee? That 30, I mean, do you use all 30?
Probably, yes.
So you know, he had 40-something thousand in there, I took money out.
If we're doing these other things, I mean, Rick, I don't know how you feel, but I mean, if we just have to say, no to trees, I mean, I don't know.
Well, if they're on our, if they're on our right of way and they're dead,
We gotta take
we can't ignore them, we have to take them down.
I still think there's gonna be a savings with the compactor.
Do you have trees in line right now to take down there?
I do.
Can we do that in-house, or we can't do trees in?
Some trees we do in-house, other trees when they're around power lines and houses, we sub it out.
Okay. Yes, no?
I just think we're gonna, you can leave it in, but I'm like, I think you're gonna still gonna make out if you have the compactor, we're saving on chipping. I mean, I don't, that's what I'm saying, that's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, but we don't know that yet.
Well, I mean,
If we take a good example, we take the brush in our trucks right now to Sloan's, it's $10 or $15 a truckload. We can't get much on the truck, the payload will try to pack it in there.
Yep.
Maybe we have 3 ton on there, maybe 4 ton. If we use the compactor and we compact it in there, Whitestown gets 10 ton on their trucks. So if you're paying by the load, you're getting a much more deal compacting and getting rid of it than what
So
we're
we
doing
agree
for-
that the compactor is a good idea. The question is,
Do we leave the
do
10,000?
we leave the 10,000 in there or not? And it sounds like we don't need to necessarily.
10,000 for
Adding
Trees.
10,000 for trees.
trees. Again, the trees are on our right of ways. We gotta take them
No,
down.
no, you gotta take them out, but can we,
But that part of that 10,000 is paying the guy to take them down.
No,
Not to get rid of it.
That's right.
all right, but brush, weeds is 30,000. And you're using some of that for trees.
Currently, yes, that's why I upped it in my budget, I upped it a little bit. Because of the trees.
Okay, so 30 is not enough?
I don't believe so, not for both.
I guess we don't know until you go through it, until you go through a season, but it sounds like we're getting from 3 ton to 10 ton.
Well, I would just suggest that we see what the compactor does for us. Leave it at 30, see what the compactor does for us.
Okay.
That's my suggestion.
You can take it out.
Out,
Take it out.
out, hey, well, Rich, oh, we got a 5-0 on that. Okay, Danny, you got a total?
40,000.
So it's 4 cents, 75% of that is about, 2.8 cents, something like that, so about a 3% tax increase.
How about if we took wages, split it in half, we do 1.5% this year, and then next year we'll see how.
You cheap bastard, seriously.
No,
You cheap bastard, you live where you live, you make what you make, and you're going to deprive these people of a 3% raise, you're a cheap bastard. And I'm not kidding, you all are, okay? Seriously, these poor people, they went for years without raises, when everybody else in the town got raises. And now you're going, when you've got money and you're spending money like you're spending here, you know, the years that they didn't get it, at least you could say the town was in a financial crisis. Now you're buying all this stuff, you're buying compactors, you're buying garbage trucks, well, you're not going to give a 3% raise to your non-union people? That's disgraceful. This other stuff, I'm not for a tax raise at all, okay? But this is disgraceful, Joe. It truly is. And a 1.5%? What are you going to get with that? What are you going to get with it? You know, some of these people are making $20,000 a year. What the hell does that amount to?
Where is that? Show us.
You know? Well, go look on the payroll books. I don't bring the payroll books with me. But you got people making $20,000, $25,000 a year here. You're going to give them a 1.5% pay raise?
Well, all those jobs are union jobs, the ones that are making 25,000.
They are?
I don't see any $25,000 people in here, they're all union.
Who?
Oh, the secretary is, Candy's union.
There's only two.
Teresa's
Candy
union.
Teresa.
and Teresa are the only two secretaries that are union.
Right.
That's it. All the other ones are non-union.
Salary.
The court clerks, all the girls that work for Gail, they're all non-union.
Okay.
Yeah, but those are just given new jobs, they just got the raise in new jobs already.
Who?
The court clerks, you just hired a new court clerk.
A year ago. We didn't give them a raise.
What was up from the year before? I don't know.
I'm just telling you, gentlemen, it stinks.
Well, listen, I gotta look, we gotta do something for the residents, so, I mean, that's what I'm looking at. So. Again, we have these storm issues, we have these problems, we say we're gonna do all this stuff, well, let's do something. Leaf pickup, brush pickup, we're getting complaints, this, that. It's,
All right.
I mean, if we got a program, we gotta support it, I think. So, I mean, let's not look at the raises, let's look at the contractuals on this stuff. Let's see what, maybe we're paying them for stuff that's inefficient, that we don't even need. I mean, you know, we looked at the 178,000, we don't even know what it's for. You're saying it's for copy machines, but, I mean, we're doing a lot of copies for 78,000, you know, so let's look at those. Maybe we can trim those out and give the 3% raise. I mean, it's, you know.
Well, here's the thing, gentlemen. You know, maintenance contracts, I mean, it's a contract. What are you going to do? You know, you enter into a contract, whether it's with Pulsey, whether it's with everybody. I mean, it's a set amount. What are you going, are you saying not to cover the computers on maintenance? Are you saying let's not cover our copiers on maintenance? I mean, you know, that's the only way you're going to cut it. You know? I mean, you can't just say we're going to slash the maintenance contract. As Danny said, if you look at the actuals, last year was probably about 80,000 on maintenance contracts. I mean, are we not going to cover some of our equipment? Because that's what it gets down to.
Maybe we could review it and see really if the
You
equipment's
can't
worth
review it all
covering.
because you gotta pass the preliminary tonight. You had 2 weeks to look at this.
Right, no, exactly. I mean,
And tonight you gotta pass the preliminary budget so you can set the public hearing for November 9th.
you know, again, I mean, my thing is give back to the residents something. And again, with all the storm issues we have and all the problems that we have out there with storm drainage and everything, I just think it's an efficient way to document things and get things fixed and finished so everybody's on the same page.
So what's this one? What's in
Well, the only software up thing is the GPS one with the retention, the asset management software, that's really it. We took out the one for code.
So wait, what's, I got 15,000 now, is that wrong?
No, it's 10 for slots.
No, I got that up here, GPS, but there's another.
15? No, I don't have anything else. I mean, really, that's the only thing we added, that and, you know, and the trash pickup, so.
So hypothetically, if we took the 10 out and brought it down to what? 30? What do we say? Is that 2%?
Yeah, that's maybe 3/4 of,
I think it's about.
that's what,
Well, there might be somewhere else in here too, that's something that we have that we don't need.
Okay.
You guys can go home. Not you.
Nobody's leaving.
Oh, it's such an exciting meeting. We could take any legal questions we're going to come up with.
Not easy. So judgment claims, that was for surgeries and so forth?
Certiorari, refunds that we've got to pay back to the county. That's all said and done.
So that's built in.
What is the tax cap?
Well, the tax cap is like 1.4 or 1.6, but we've got a credit because we've cut taxes down and actually cut taxes over the last 8 years. So we've got about a $250,000 credit from what we've done over the past year. So that's not a concern at this point.
A 3% is not a concern?
No. But let's face it,
No, I'm just saying, I didn't know what the tax cap was, and I didn't know that we got credit.
we get credit for every year that we stay under our budget, you know, and we've done it for the last 8 years.
Every year we stay under the 1 point, whatever the tax.
Yeah,
cap
because
is.
we've never had an increase
Oh, I see.
in the last 8 years. So
Okay.
we've built up this credit,
I
which
see what you're
amounts to 250, 240, something. I guess now's the time to bring up, because I forgot all about it. We've still got the amounts that we lost because of the assessment. I don't have it in my budget.
Put it in front.
Oh, here. Yeah. Which was 6949.71 that we had to pick up in General Whole Town. Okay? Now, to pick that up, I recommend that we take $7,000 out of the contingent account. That'll take care of that. Okay? And then out of police, we needed 12,478.16. And what I would recommend is where is it, Dan? Where's the, no, that's the thing. We had increased the crossing guards by 3%, which amounted to $1,613. Now, again, I'm all for the 3%, but then I learned that our crossing guards during the summer collect unemployment, which we pay for. Doesn't go through the state, we pay for that, okay? Yes, Dave. So when I heard that, I took the 3% out, okay? I leave it to you guys. You know, if they're going out collecting unemployment for basically a part-time job, and we have fought this, and they've come back and said no, but I don't know if the rest of you guys know, but it doesn't go through the state. The town pays unemployment insurance. Okay. And the other one is to increase mitigation fees from $50,000 to $11,000 in the police pick up some of the equipment. And that would make up. Is that where we did it, or did we take it out of part-time?
We were gonna take
Oh, part,
6,000 out of police overtime.
okay, and 5,000 in mitigation.
And this is as a result of the surcharges, trying to make this whole again, is that what you're saying?
Trying to make it back to where we were on the rate before, yeah.
Right.
They came in, I don't know what the change was, about 130,000, 150,000 drop in general whole town, wasn't it?
The total assessment?
Total
was
assessment.
about 7 million. The assessment,
No.
assessed values.
Drop? Didn't drop 7 million.
The assessed value did.
No, I'm talking about in the one we got this morning. 7 million? No.
Well, Sangertown alone.
Yeah, but that's before. This one we just got today.
Yeah, not per thousand, but it's 7
7
million
million
gross.
total assessment.
Before, before the,
No, you're right.
7 million off the total assessed value.
Yeah.
The Sangertown's second case just hit.
Sangertown was already taken out.
I think it's
This is-
mainly-
Sangertown was more than that. Sangertown was 20 million.
20 million.
These were the
I
others.
think it was Home Depot, part of Utica Mutual, UPS.
Yeah, because New York Mills got hit.
So yours wash.
Mine, with my adjustment, it would keep it at the rate that I had it on my tentative budget, yes. But we would still need to put that into the resolution. Did you get those, Dan?
Yeah.
Mine?
Yes, if you didn't do yours, then obviously you would increase the tax rate additionally when you're talking.
Just equipment, it says.
Yeah.
That's why
it
that's
would.
the question.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rich. Yeah, it would, yeah, because to, whole town, well, you'd add 6,000, so, you're going up a penny or something, maybe, or half, 3/4 of a cent or something.
For what?
That's all. Pick up the clerk for the judge.
That was the-
I took that out in my budget.
Yeah, what's the rec, center equipment? Went up, 4,000.
Whatever.
Again, nothing big.
Yeah, it's all small stuff that Cunningham put on the list. We took out his big stuff and put it on a bonding list. I don't really know specifically what it is.
Right. Yeah, that's a keep it rate, but that's all it works there. I don't know if these other people recommend this rate, or I don't know. Really, it's all kids, right?
So there are no other corrections or maybe 3%, 2% increase.
If you do the adjustments that I said, so we can think we're at 3,
It's about what's with the Cunningham.
well, I got the 9 in, it's about 3.
Revenues.
What do you come up with for?
That's a
Dollar amount.
Total.
Make it, yeah, we want to find expenses.
Right, 40,000 even?
Which one's that? Yeah, 1 second, that's still not going to go anywhere. I'd like to know what that is. Probably about 10 out of that. I don't know.
It's just about exactly 3 cents. It would be 3%. Right? So what you got there?
Yeah, that, it's still not good.
Well, I know.
Why is it so high?
Well, he said it came in 80, around 80 last year. Well, I think it's something to look at through the course of the year. Maybe there's different maintenance companies, I don't know.
I don't think it's all maintenance contracts that would, I think there's other things that we have an issue, when we have an issue with the accounting package, we have to, call and have somebody do something, and that kind of.
Right, I understand.
So it's not just maintenance contracts.
service.
Well, I'm just saying, over you look at the 5-year history, the actual, we use it all.
Right.
I can get you, I know tried to have Lisa track it to get a breakdown, because I wanted to find out the same thing. And so we can get you that information.
Well, the software for the AS400 is like $89,000 a year right there,
Yeah.
just for that. And I think a lot of the updates that we have for the other computers get thrown in. And they're not cheap.
We need to make a resolution on yours, or,
We'll do it all together unless you want to do it separate, it's up to you, Rich.
let's start to move it along. Make a motion to accept this preliminary budget.
With everything that we got.
Budget.
All right, Rich.
You're not the regulation. We have a motion on the floor, gentlemen, to accept the preliminary budget as stated here with the adjustments that I read off earlier for the ones that we picked up, Dan and I picked up earlier because of the change in the assessment. Do we have a second?
Just to clarify, what you're doing is bringing your budget back up as a result of the certiorari's that we didn't know about. You're adjusting.
You mean the adjustments that I read off, that
Yes.
Danny and I made? Yes.
Yes.
That brings it back to the,
To this
to
page.
to this rate, okay? If not, then that would obviously have to be added to this.
I'll second that.
You'll second Rich's motion to accept what we've got here, plus, Rich is saying, take what we've gone through here, plus my adjustments, and approve that as a preliminary budget. So that means you would have basically about a 3% increase.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay. You thought Rich was just talking about mine. No, he was
That's
talking about
right.
the entire budget. Wasn't that true?
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, before you get going, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Is your motion just to do the certiorari issues, or is it the whole?
Would be inclusive of everything that we have before us.
Do we have a second? Going once, going twice, no second. Motion dies. Correct? Okay, moving on. Sorry, Rich. No, there's no second.
So we're looking to take out the GPS for now. We'll lower that down to 30,000. Make it says.
What else do we put in here? What else do we put? what else do we
In?
put- Yeah, what else do we put in, take out instead of that?
I think it's called seasonal.
Russian beans, retreats.
We took that out.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So that's that too.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's for his own. So that's going now. Right?
We're going to take about a 5-minute recess here, so these gentlemen can take a look at the budget, and then we'll come back. Give you time to talk it over.
That's what I'm saying, like all that stuff.
Don't we pick that stuff up or no? We get picked up by private company? Well, if we get the compactor truck, can't we just pick it up?
What do you say?
No, right here.
Yeah, reference and garbage, contractual $1,000.
Yeah, I think the package picks it up. The village picks it up.
Oh, so that-
They go to the parks and pick it up, I'm pretty sure.
But if we got our own compactors, you know, I don't know. And the labor thing, guys, with them guys, a lot of people here are taking a break, and some, I think, don't deserve a break. I mean, again, I think everything has accountability, just like they do it at any job I ever work. If you do well, you get a raise. You don't do, it's not across the board.
And I agree.
I think across the board just doesn't, you know, because then everybody can say, hey, I do what I want to do, and I get 3%.
Right, but I think is this one, you do it.
Okay.
Right. But going forward, you should tell the department heads,
Yeah.
you serve at the pleasure of the board, basically, as a supervisor, and you're on the review, and I mean, I get 3%.
Right.
But I don't think you can do that.
No, I understand, but I didn't want to set a precedent that we just give 3% to give 3%. I mean, that's not the way you do things, you know what I mean? You know, everybody, exactly, everybody. My wife just went through an evaluation, she got 2%, okay? And she was a top 10 employee. So, you know, no one gives out 3% for nothing,
I think
you
that's a
know?
reasonable approach, but you can't, I don't think you should do that.
No, listen, I agree, and I'm not downgrading anybody's job, and I'm not saying, but my thing is, again, across the performance-based across the board. I mean, some get 3, maybe some get 4, maybe some get 1.5. Again, if you got a guy that's not doing it, or secretary that's sitting there biting their nails and, you know, filing them, you know, then,
You can't argue with that. I
right.
agree.
So that's my thing. Just going forward, I'd like to have everything performance-based, you know? You do what you do, and you step out of the box, you get paid for it.
But you can't do that.
No, I understand that, and my point was that I just don't think across the board all the time, 3%, it should be the, people should just say, I deserve it because I came to work today and punched the card.
No, I agree.
Because again, I didn't make what I did, doing what I do. No, I put the time in, you know, so, you know, it's not like I'm sitting there filing my
It was
head.
something that we did look at some years ago. The problem was implementing it. And the implementation of something like that in government is very difficult to do.
We actually came up with, I met with Matt at least once. We talked about an evaluation form, and it is very, very difficult to do. But that doesn't mean it can't be done.
No, it can be, but it's very difficult because you're dealing with regulations that you don't have in the private industry, for the most part, at least in small businesses.
Right.
Okay? So, but anyway,
But again, so it's not a hit, like, there's, like I said, a lot of great employees, but here's the thing, for example, take a hypothetical, you go through park, you see what's going on, and then you give a raise for something that was disgusting.
yeah, the parks is union, so what are you gonna do?
So if the parts are not being done, then that becomes an issue. It's just going to the department head and say, look, this, and this, and you better get it corrected.
I got the, I'll bring it to the board.
Well, I'm just saying.
Right.
I think there's a way to approach that.
Anyway, did we make any progress here while I was gone?
Well, I guess there's 2 line items here that we got. So there's the annual trash pickup and the software. I think the software puts things in perspective. I think it's gonna document where we have problems and issues that we need to take care of and fix for people through storms and other issues in that regard.
You're talking about the GPS.
Software, I mean,
Right.
you know, other places are using it, the towns are using it. It is valuable for them.
You can plug it in next year.
You know, but then what do we do this summer? So this summer, when all these people go out and do all this work, like right now, Bray did something in Slayton. Well, guess what? When he's done over there and everybody's done, there's no documentation that in 3-4 years, it's probably gonna have to be at least cleaned out again, right? So that's the problem. Again, if we're all gone or somebody leaves and nobody knows, or Rick retires or somebody else does, it's back to square one, because a lot of the stuff before my time isn't somewhere I can just go and get it.
Well, can we
So-
ask the department head to begin detailing all of these places that he's aware
Well,
of?
you gotta know where to store it that's gonna be here forever. Like, if we do this, it's something that's here forever. You know, it's like the
Well,
accounting
I
software.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But I think there's an easier, I gotta believe that he knows where most of these are right now. Maybe 1 or 2 are missing, but I think he knows where they are. I think if we're looking to save some money, I think we can put that off. We don't need to do it this year. And plug it and plan on it next year.
I mean, you think well,
We had a system set up under Gigio Topaz, but we moved out of it, or we're moving out of it, that basically did this because Liz DeGeronimo did.
That's right. And also, can we, maybe aren't there systems out there that the county has and that the water board has that we could,
Well, this piggybacks off that.
well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, so this actually gets all that information, ties it in, and then we add our stuff to it. So that's what Chris Lawton told me, that, you know, that's how this would work, it ties in everything. So it would be, you know, kind of a layering system of,
Again, I'm not saying it's not a good idea, but I think if we're looking to save some money, we plan on it next year perhaps.
I mean, maybe with the excavator, again, I don't know, but maybe that's something to go out for a capital project and get that too, and, you know, if we do that.
I thought we were going to do that, capital project, the excavator. That wasn't coming out of the budget.
No, but I'm saying maybe we can add that to
Oh, I
it for the
see.
summer, so when these guys
Oh,
are
I
out
see what
doing
you're
all
saying.
this work, it could be documented the whole summer. Because we'll lose another summer of
Yeah, we just throw that in there.
nothing getting documented, and the biggest problem is, it's hard to remember, you know, Rick's one guy, he's got a big department, he's got a lot on his shoulders, it's hard to remember, hey, I gotta go back there this month, this'll, you know, we can schedule things, so we know the next year where they gotta go, and then also too, something that can say, all right, we need a DEC permit to clean that creek, let's, you know, call them 3 months ahead of time, so we get it for the summer, you know, different things like that, you know, it's hard to remember everything for the whole town, so, you know, if we could look at that for a project for the summer, I think it'd be great, but I think this summer we need to get out there again and, you know, like the creeks the lady's talking about and the different ponds and all that stuff, I think that's where we really need to, you know, look at. So I don't have a problem if we can do some, but definitely, I'd like to be proactive before the, you know, the summer hits and then we have another issue. So if you want to take it out now and look at it this summer in one of the projects with the excavators, I'm fine with that. But I don't want to just throw it to the wayside because
No, I don't think.
it's getting worse and worse. It's not getting any better, so, you know.
So let's move it into that. So that saves you 10 grand right there.
All right, so there's 10 out.
So you're taking that up? You got
Take
that,
10 out.
Danny? Taking the 10 grand out of 1440.2, take that out. So what were you at?
40, now
So we're at 30?
Got another thing too going through, you got a fire inspector, you got a zoning officer assistant, and you got a assistant code codes officer. So you have 30,000, 42,000, 10,000, you got 82,224. Since Tom's leaving, why don't we get one, why don't we look at two, we don't have to do it now, but why don't we look at one guy doing full-time to take on those jobs, and then also too, he can work underneath Joe. For down the road, when Joe retires, we'll have somebody else there too.
Wasn't Tom full-time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tom's full-time.
he was, yeah, he left. We're
Right,
looking
he's
for-
gone.
We're looking for somebody to fill him in.
Right.
The fire, the other inspectors are part-time guys, and you're not gonna get one guy to do all this. I can tell you now, just from what I know with codes. Joe's buried the way he is, and if you were to ask whoever that second guy is to take on the fire inspections and stuff like that.
No, Dave. Is Dave the guy? Clement, whatever.
Tony Clement.
Tony Clement. Is he part-time, Dave?
Yes,
And Carmen's part-time?
yes.
So we have two full-time, two part-time right now, except Tom is leaving.
Tom left, two full-time positions, two part-time.
So you're gonna get a savings on the one that you funded until you fund the position.
Well, what I was saying was, you'd probably get better candidates if you grouped all this.
Wow.
I mean, the weekend guy that's here, I mean, what's his,
Carmen?
yeah, that's just for what, taking out signs?
He rides around, looks for violations, things like that.
Okay, so,
Signs.
Is that 10 grand for that? Is
yeah,
that what we're saying?
yeah, it's 10 grand for that. There's 10 grand.
You're gonna stop doing that?
Riding around on Saturday, looking for signs for 10 grand?
Well, no, I think
Well, he does more than that. I mean, you gotta talk to Joe and see what it is, but I mean, that's not all he does. That's part of what he does, but he also does,
Well, I'm just saying, if we added that to this guy here, the full-time guy, couldn't do that? I mean,
well, I don't even know what we left in there for, what did we leave in there for full, what is in there
For
for?
time rolling.
42,000, because he got an increase for 3%, right?
He didn't,
No.
that's the same.
All right.
Because that person's coming in.
Right.
Yeah, there's 10 grand right there.
I don't think you're gonna be able to do it. Well, that's a.
Well, I mean, Joe's your expertise down in the codes department.
Yeah, but Joe can't do everything.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying your fire inspector guy.
Right. Joe's not gonna go out and do fire inspections. And probably the other guy isn't either. I mean, these guys, they only work so many hours a week unless you start paying overtime. If you're gonna pay them overtime, you're right back up to where you were before. And chances are you're not gonna get, first of all, there's not a lot of guys out there. There's nobody on the list at the county right now who's at this level.
Right.
So if you go out and find like a full-blown codes enforcement officer, you're probably gonna be paying them 60 to 70,000 anyway.
Yeah, so that's still in here, there's enough to do that. There's two guys in there, I'm saying take the 10 grand out for the guy who rides around looking for signs.
Well, he does more than that, that's what I'm saying, you gotta talk to Joe, I don't know exactly.
Well, I did, that's what he told me, he says, he goes around, takes signs out, he brings signs back to the, I don't know. I mean, $10, I mean, I'll go pull signs for free. I like to cheat that time.
He can't.
I just.
Yeah, Rick.
In the trees and the brush, what did we end up leaving there? We raised it to 40? Is that what we did?
No,
Kept
we
it
left
30.
30?
30.
Okay.
That's the 10 right there.
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Yep, then you get 20.
No, we already did that.
No, we take the 10 out for the
Part-time.
sign guy.
All right, so what, I don't have it open to that, what is that
Oh,
account?
he did this.
That is.
No, he pulls political signs and
Sign
that's around the weekend.
Well,
EB
Where is that? Show me.
8010.
Joe's assistant, Carmen.
Oh, zoning, okay.
8010.1?
12.
12? So that's minus 10. So now you're at 20,000. Unless you put that 10 back in, but I don't, that's up to you. So now you're at 20,000.
What's the percentage now?
Another 20,000, so
It's about $1, it's about a 1 3/4% increase.
And they get service again.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. I mean, it's like.
Don't look at me,
No,
I
I
don't
know,
raise
I
taxes.
know. So
Never-
dollar.
never in my career have I
dollar-wise,
raised
what
a
is that
tax here.
per thousand?
Huh?
What is that dollar-wise, instead of percentage, you don't need to be dollar-wise?
The dollar 1.7 per thousand. $1 and $1.01.75. So basically about $1.02 per thousand.
Motion to move
You're either hungry or tired, Rich.
game tonight?
Okay, make a motion. Go ahead, Rich.
that we accept this as the preliminary budget with all adjustments.
Okay. Just to, well, I'm gonna go through the adjustments, so you got it. Okay? But he's making a motion based on this. If I make a mistake, call me out. Account 1110.02, equipment, is raised by 1,500. Account 1355.02, which is for the assessor's office, equipment raised 1,000. Decreased the overtime in parks, account 7110.16 by $9,000. Curbside, add $30,000 for the curbside pickup, account DB 5110.5. Add $20,000 to seasonal employees, account DB 5110.14. Decrease overtime, account DB 1542.11 by $15,000. $1,500 for the sophisticated phone answering service at the highway department, DB 5130.02, $1,500. Getting rid of one part-time employee at codes. So it's a reduction of $10,000 in BB 8010.12. And I'm going to add in the adjustments for mine to keep this at zero, which would be a reduction of $7,000. And Danny, check me on these. $7,000 on account AA 1990.04.
It's actually 6950 to be exact, 6,950. Is that all right?
That's fine. Okay. And then a reduction of $1,613 in account BP 312014. An increase in account BP 5031, whatever it is, Danny, 5,000.
5,000.
And then the overtime, I don't have the account there, we're reducing that by
6,000.
6,000. And you got that account number, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's a motion by Rich.
Preparation's not good. Overtime.
Oh, we left that, and said they worked through the night with them. Nice.
I don't think, I mean, if you get rid of it, Might as well close the rink, and that's fine with me.
No, he's not saying.
No, I was just wondering if there was any room in there.
Okay, so we got a motion to accept what I just read off. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Paul, discussion?
I think we've cut places that, like for instance, the part-time codes department. I think we're cutting that parks overtime without discussing it with the department head. And I think there are some areas there that we may be sorry we did it that way. I think it's a mistake. I also think that the curbside pickup is important, but I think it's an area that we can perhaps discuss next year. I think this budget is tight. I'm not in favor of it.
So is that a no?
That's a no.
Rich, you made the motion, so I guess that's a yes.
Yes.
And I guess I'm going to break tradition here. I'm going to agree with Dave on just about everything you said, and I'm going to vote no. I think there's, first of all, I've never been in agreement on a curbside pickup. I think you're basically, you got a small, special interest group of people, and I'm not saying you're a liar, Jimmy, but I don't think it's hundreds of people. I think, maybe a couple dozen, but a small percentage of the population here. I agree with Dave with regards to, taking things out like overtime and eliminating a part-time person out of a department without discussing it with the department. So anyway, I vote no. 3-2, I guess it's approved.
Did
I-
you vote?
No, he didn't, but I will vote yes to the budget.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What
I
does
thought
that
you
give
did.
us as a percentage? What does that mean?
1.5 or something like that, 1.7% increase?
Just also to add too, I mean, it's not only the annual trash bill that made the tax go up. I mean, we put a lot of, we double seasonal employees for Rick.
No, I understand that. I
Those
think that's a
people
good idea.
are also gonna be picking up our leaves, our brush,
I agree.
taking care of services that
No, I have no problem. That's a good idea.
we've lacked. Well, I just wanna add, and then, again, a couple little software packages we have are actually going to document and go through that stuff, so,
So what's the percentage again? 1 point?
5 or so, something like that.
and then my last thing, the only thing I did with parks was I took the overtime out, because again, I've got, to be honest with you, so I'll bring it to the table, I probably got over 200 complaints on the parks, a lot
Yeah,
of
but
people's
that's not-
frustrations.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm just saying, we're not getting the job done anyway, so to give somebody overtime to
Well,
to
we don't
not,
know what the overtime is for, really. I mean,
Right.
none of us really know.
Right.
They're not doing maintenance on overtime.
But-
I don't know.
Yeah, no, again, like I said, I walk through the parks, I use
I
the parks.
agree.
It's not being done, so again, I think overtime is a benefit, not, it's not a, just give it out to give it out. So and again, if the parks were being maintained like they should, I could see a difference there. But I think we have to do something there. We have to take a look at it. I mean, you're going downhill, and we've got benches busted all over. we
Gotta be
got
fixed.
Bathrooms destroyed, lights are got more flies in it than outside. I mean, just nothing's being maintained and taken care of. Our trails are overgrown, weeds are everywhere. I mean, you can't even get through the trails that there were walking trails in full.
Yeah, we put a lot of time, money, and effort
Exactly, and
into
it's
the
going
trail
downhill.
system, and it's gotta be maintained.
Yeah, I mean, and then you look and you say, okay, we're maintaining it. I mean, we're mowing lawns, and you're spending $300,000-$400,000 in labor to mow lawns. I mean, because that's all we're doing at this point. We're not adding nothing. We have no functionality. I mean, again, I use other parks from other towns too, and we're starting to lose momentum there. And everything else, everybody's maintaining. We're just not, and it's not looking good. So, again, I guess when we're talking labor and increases, we got a lot of great employees here. They deserve their raise and much, much more. And then we got some things that are going on that need to really be looked at, because we're losing the battle there. So, again, the overtime in the park, they're mowing lawns. I mean, it's not a big task, And besides that, like I said, the other stuff is not being maintained. So
I don't think
that's-
anybody would argue with that.
yeah, so that's the only reason I took the overtime out, because they're not gonna give overtime to not maintain the stuff that's already there. And yeah, it's not a big task, so I just thought, take that, give it back to the residents for for other clouds, you know, we can enhance our leaf pickup, our brush pickup, get it done more efficiently that way with the seasonal employees. So that was my idea, that's all, so.
Anything else? Did we approve the bills?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did? If there's nothing else, motion for adjournment.
No,
Oh, I'm sorry, again.
we need to schedule a public hearing.
Oh, okay. November 8th?
Make that motion also?
Motion to set the public hearing on the budget for November 8th. Got a second?
Second.
Second by Paul. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And how many copies of the budget do you want me to make available?
Same as we did last year.
Okay, yes. 25. Dave, is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Thank you, Stefan.
Richard second. All in favor? Aye.
And
Aye.
then there was the resolution that you said we weren't in.
Oh, yeah.
The
About the,
section about
that house.
Bleachery Ave, one of the Bleachery Ave, to adjourn the hearing till
November 8th.
November
Yeah, you
8th.
said you wanted a motion. There was one.
We weren't in the section.
Contingent upon having those things done by next Wednesday. You said you got one.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Did you want to?
yeah, I hate that.
So this was the one by next Wednesday.
Right. We're asking for a motion as it relates to 3549 Bleacher Ave in Chadwicks. That's the one that Attorney Young from Camillus was present. The motion would read that we are agreeing to continue the hearing on November 8, 2017. However, MidFirst Bank, the owner, is to have removed the garbage from the exterior, secured the house, and secured the deck by October 25th at 5 p.m. If that has not been done by that time, we're directing Joe to go out and have somebody take care of those items to be billed to MidFirst Bank.
So moved.
Motion by Dave, second.
Second.
Second by Paul. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Did that it, Joe? Did we forget anything else?
Thanks for reminding me.
Okay, nothing else, motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Motion by Dave, second by Jim. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, gentlemen.